Hey there.
Yeah.
Good evening. How are you? We have been having technical hitches, but the technical hitch isn't that Terry Davies is not hosting the show, and the technical hitch isn't that Nick Davies, who is now on the panel, isn't hosting the show. It's almost like, do you remember Soap, Jackie, the soap opera, the comedy?
Yes.
Do you remember it?
Yes.
Soap was on late at night, where Billy Crystal, it made him famous. That's what today is like.
Oh.
So we've had to reschedule. Welcome to Tad Talk, episode 13, season 2. What date are we, Nick? May 28th, 2020. A horrendous year. But listen, regardless of a horrendous year, we've got amazing guests tonight. We were supposed to have Kalo, who is one of Tad's new acts, but unfortunately, technical hitches being as they are, we couldn't get her on. So we will, I promise you, reschedule another time to get Kalo on. But we do, in her place, have the beautiful Mr. Nick Davies. Good evening, Nick.
Hello, how is everybody doing?
Very good, or good morning to you, depending on where you are. You're in Phoenix, Arizona, and I believe you've got a bit of a growth on your shoulder there. Is there something you need to go and see the doctor about?
Yeah, this is what's known as a class 4 Kenny Doggins.
Oh.
And I'm guessing it's not critically dangerous. It's just the odd lick in the face. Is that right?
Yeah, it's it clings to you a bit, and it's a little hairy, but it's fine. You kind of you definitely know it's there, but you don't mind.
He's beautiful. But Nick, seriously, thank you for joining us, and thank you for literally jumping in on the last minute to take that extra place that Kalo couldn't fill. We will reschedule Kalo, so apologies to Kalo and apologies to anyone out there that was waiting to see her. But we also have superstar of the show, incredible lady, all-round gorgeous, good egg, the beautiful superstar, international music star, Jaki Graham. How are you, Jackie?
Hello, darling Sam. Nick, how you doing, baby? This is a new world for me. Let me tell you that now, because I'm looking at all of you in a box.
And that's where men should be, Jackie. That's where men should be.
And he's saying, Jackie, don't talk to us because when it overcrosses with the voices and stuff. But bless your heart for checking in with me, darling.
Jackie, well, listen, I spoke to Tony, your fella, probably about 5 or 6 weeks ago and said to him, look, would Jackie do this? And he went, yeah, absolutely, keep her available. But, at that point, I was kind of recovering, getting a bit better, and we were trying to get all the acts on and stuff, but we knew that this was going to roll and roll, and it's been such a great success, Tad Talk. Terry Davies, the CEO of this company, normally hosts it, but he's now watching live at the airport in Cabo San Lucas in Mexico.
Oh, really?
I mean, the envy.
What's he doing there?
I think he's trying to sell. He's got some new salesman job or something. He goes around. He's selling fridges and air conditioning units.
Wicked!
He's got a beautiful place out there, and he goes out to spend a few days to calm down, get a different rhythm and stuff like that. He goes out with his gorgeous wife Anne, and they have a ball. But and that's what he looks like.
I got it.
What he looked like a few years ago. That growth keeps changing, Nick.
If he needs any help, tell him to call me.
Oh, you're an angel, Jackie. Thanks so much for joining us. And again, Nick, thanks for joining us in such a late hour. It's great to be here. As I said, this is episode 13 of Tad Talk Season 2. If anyone doesn't know me out there, my name's Sam Kane. I have been hosting, I've only hosted one so far. That was the Davies family. Have a look on the Tad Management website, Tad Management MGNT. I believe it is. Also on YouTube and Facebook. Check out, there's a whole host of videos you can catch up on there. But tonight, we're going to be talking about the career, the life of Jaki Graham and also of Nick Davies. So we do this all the time. There's a kind of format to this show, Jackie. So we're going to kick off with random questions. And I want you to think of these quick fire, okay? So I'm going to ask you first, Jackie. What's your favourite song to sing?
Oh, to sing. You know something? I think it's got to be... Ain't Nobody.
Shaka Khan original.
Yeah, because it just says everything, and it's just an uplifting song. I can't help it, but I should say really Round and Around, because that also is one of my favourites ones to sing.
Set Me Free or Mated.
Because every time I sing, people say, do you ever get tired of singing these stuff? And I'm going, no, darling, because everybody's face is a picture. And so I'm going to say Ain't Nobody, though.
Oh, it's a great tune. And it's always fascinated me, when you watch the artists, the actual artist, whoever made it, Jaki Graham, for instance, and you talk about songs that you love listening to. I remember watching Michael Jackson listen to a song on a TV show, and he was really kind of getting into it. And he said, I love this song. And you forget that they're just people, like they're superstars, aren't they? yourself.
Listen, I tell everybody that I'm no different. I cook, clean, wash, and iron like everybody else. So I ain't flash.
Have you seen Nick's house?
Want any help, darling?
Yeah, not helping me. It's a kick. Anyway, Nick, same song to you. Same question. What song do you love to sing? As you may not know, Jackie, Nick is an incredible entertainer. Nick, he's done lots of different things with in the guise of many different facets of TAD management. He's kind of predominantly known within TAD for being in the Boys of D63. Am I right, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
But it's a difficult one for me because there's a go-to song for karaoke, but I'm going to go with a live situation here. Probably my favorite song to sing on a stage, lights beaming down, is probably one that we don't get to do every Piano Men show, but whenever we do, it's just so much fun. It's Scenes from an Italian Restaurant by Billy Joel. Just an incredible song, and just such essences of the Beatles during that song. And it's just the playing piano with it, especially with my dad sitting across from me on the other piano. It's just so much fun. I have a blast with that song.
Oh, it's a great show. For anyone that hasn't seen it, check it out, Jackie. They sit opposite in pianos, and they sit pianos are back to back. They're grand pianos, and they play all the Elton John, all the Billy Joel shows, and it's songs. And it's such a successful show, and they've both got an incredible musical talent. Both incredible pianists, him and his dad Terry, and both great vocalists as well. So really, it's well worth. There's a video on. Is the whole show out, Nick, online yet, or is it access to it?
No, but there are definitely clips online in the ethers somewhere, from either fans or professional ones that we've taken. I know there's a long ongoing fan named Linda Wolf who may be watching right now, who goes to every show and takes a bunch of videos. So if you find her Facebook page, she'll have like 250 mutual friends, and they'll all be in TAD. So.
Cheers. Nick also writes songs, Jackie. He's an amazing lyricist. I think his destiny, well, this is only my opinion, it's a subjective world we live in, is musical theatre, because he's a born poet. He wrote an amazing song recently that's had incredible reviews all over the world of music. And it's been a smash all over the internet. And it's about how we're coping as artists under the current climate. Should we have a look at it?
Really?
Have a look at it, Jackie. Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
After all, what if this virus had affected Mr. Lennon? Imagine if imagine never was. Thank God he taught the world a bit of peace with that piano. We never would have listened just because. To take away the arts would be to take away our purpose. For some of us, it's why we're still alive. Take the dive. A month ago, not one of us could ever see this ending, and now we've no idea where to start. But we have an obligation to this planet we call home. 'Cause what is Earth without art? We have an obligation to this planet we call home.
What a future, Nick. What a future you've got, young man. And as I said, check out the reviews online. Earth Without Art. What's the title, Nick? The exact title?
Earth Without Art.
That's exactly what it is. Have a look at it online. Check it out. Listen to the whole song.
I will do.
The words are incredible. Isn't he great, Jackie?
Yes. Oh, so my God.
I'm going to ask you a question. Go on.
I know, I'm just surrounded by such talented people, and the piano and the collection of songs as well. Everyone's going to be a winner.
Oh, bless you,
with you and your dad,
Jackie is the nicest human being on the planet. I'll tell you about how we met later.
I'm not worthy.
Oh, bless you,
you certainly are, mate. You're lovely people, and that's all it comes down to at the end of it. Yeah. Random question number 2, Nicholas Davis. What is the one thing you refuse to share with anybody else?
the one thing I refuse to share with anybody.
Anything. You don't want to share it. If anybody comes over to get with, no, you're not having it.
Well, Julia is waving her arms and jumping up and down in the corner of the room. So
from my experience, that's out already. So
exactly. Julia is the obvious answer to that one. And this one used to be something that was a downfall of mine. And recently I've made a pact to not really do it anymore. So the way I'm going to answer this is my political opinion.
Oh, that's a wise answer.
Yeah.
That's a wise answer. So wise in the current climate as well. It's crazy, isn't it? How people are so passionate now. I mean, people just used to have opinions. They go about their business, keep the business to themselves. Now, social media is crazy. Jackie, what about you? What do you refuse to share with anybody? Probably Tony in most cases, but...
Well, I think it would be at this moment in time, boy, because I'm locked down. What? Because I like to share everything with everybody. Me, you know. I mean, you know, what's yours is mine, and what's mine is yours. But what wouldn't I let you have? Oh,
it's got to be something. You'll get a packet of it, or a biscuit, or a crisp, or whatever it may be.
Well, you see, the kids have just got me onto this particular wine.
It's always booze. It's always booze.
They got me into this particular wine, and I said, who's touched it? It's got my name on it. Don't mess.
Jackie, you make me laugh. I tell you why you make me laugh. You listen to your accent. Tell everybody where you're from in the UK, by the way.
Well, everybody, because I come from Birmingham in the UK. And when I first came out in the 80s, everybody thought I came from America, okay? I said, no, darling, it's not Birmingham, Alabama. It's Birmingham, West Midlands.
West Midlands.
West Midlands.
But there's a tinge of somewhere else every time your accent kills me. What's the hint?
Jamaican. A bit of Jamaican in there as well. That's where my family comes from. With the brother, yeah, I know.
So we've got a message in the chat room on the comments in Facebook, and Cindy Brock, who works for TAD, she's an amazing lady. She said the one thing that she refuses to share with anybody is her toothbrush.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wouldn't, would you?
She's right. That would be the one.
Share it with anyone. Question number 3, Jackie Graham. After lockdown finishes and coronavirus has been kicked in the butt, what's the most valuable thing that you will have come out with? Has anything changed for you? You've soul searched, you've learned a new language, you've taken a course, you've gone into basket weaving. Your house is clean, obviously.
Well, I'm getting rid of so much stuff at the minute. But what I've learned is, is to be lonely. I've got my family here with me, right? But I'm so hungry to go out and see everybody, darling. I've missed everybody.
So you've really learned to appreciate everybody in your life.
Oh my God. And, just life in general, too, because who knew that this was going to happen? I mean, I feel as if I'm living in a TV show, okay? Because this is you'd see this in a film or something. Who knew?
I know.
This is a new decade.
Yep.
And check this decade out, man.
You're absolutely right. It's the start of the decade. I never even thought of it. It's amazing, Jack, isn't it, how you wake up, Nick. You probably experienced this yourself. You wake up and you think, it can't be real. And then you turn the news and you go, no, it's definitely real. It wasn't a bad dream.
Yeah, I know.
This is still going on. People are still dying. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So we're going to move into different parts now, different parts of your life. We'll touch on Nick, if that's okay first, Jackie. Regarding his career and where he's started, how it all began. Tell us about your life.
I don't need to answer that third question, I guess.
I don't want you to answer that, Nick. Yeah, we're not interested in your answer. Yes, okay. Thank you very much. Oh, you've hosted too, have you? Yes. Oh my God!
Oh dear.
The student is now teaching the teacher. Congratulations. So, Nick, cut, edit, splice. After lockdown finishes, coronavirus has had a kick in the derriere. What will have you found about yourself? What have you learned that's new?
How well I can save toilet paper.
Oh, Jesus. What? Oh, my
It was a thing, wasn't it? Everybody was like holding toilet paper.
Yeah, I know.
Now listen, here's the thing, Jackie. I had coronavirus.
Yes.
The last thing I did, and I hate to tell this on the internet, now the whole interweb in the world know, for 3 or 4 weeks, I didn't go to the toilet.
Oh my God.
I was literally full of... No, I can't say that, can I?
We already knew.
Oh my man, I was thinking about you. I was thinking about you and Linda and thinking, oh my gosh. And that's what I said, how unreal this whole situation was. Yeah. But thank you, Jesus, darling. You're here with us.
Oh, the hand of God did its thing.
Oh, let me tell you.
Positive. And I feel like I've just got my mojo back as well, just like you, Jackie. The osmosis of Jackie Graham.
Whoever you affiliate with, baby boy, you're here for a reason.
Oh, God bless
you and your family, you're here for a reason. So we're going to hang out again.
Well, this is a weird dynamic, this, because I was there the day Nick was born, right? Some people have said I was there the day he was conceived, but that's a whole different story.
Oh.
But that's a different story, as I say. But I've known him literally all of his life, and I will be soon the best man at his wedding. So the affinity Nick and I have, it's as close to a fatherly love as you can get. It's unconditional from me to him. But the weird thing is, Nick, I never called you Nicky. Nick, is that Jackie and I have actually only been in each other's company, albeit for like a week or so, once. And there's certain people you meet throughout your life, and you just go, that's it, they're friends forever.
Yes.
You're an angel.
My baby. You know, the first time we met Sam, right? And we came off the plane, and they took us to wherever we was in the hotel and everything else. And he spent the night with us. Well, part of the night with us in our room with me and Tony. We gasped, and we felt as if we knew each other forever.
That was great, wasn't it?
We felt it. Yeah.
And there's a thing about, meeting your heroes, Jackie. I followed your career forever. You were part of my pivotal growing up through the 80s and the 90s. And, when they say you meet people who you've adored all your life, and to meet someone as lovely as you, you're an angel. You really are.
Oh, bless you. Thank you, darling.
Thank you for coming on as well. It's great. So, anyway, Nick, as we move on.
Sorry.
Jackie Graham show. She's shitting him here.
Sorry.
This is lovely. Nick, showbiz, it's been a part of your life. You've been around it forever. It was always destiny. Are you glad you've made this choice?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, when I was a kid, I remember there was a bit of time there when I wanted to be a dentist. I don't know. Just thinking of it now, why would a Brit want to become a dentist? But that soon left my head because I saw Billy Joel live in 2006, and that changed everything. And it also helped that my parents were a duo, performing duo for years and years and years. Billy Joel and my parents will always be my biggest inspirations, and the reason why I'm on this musical path that I am on.
I was just going to say, you think that's probably the reason why the amazing lyrical quality is coming out in you, because I suppose osmosis being the answer.
Well, I don't know if that's the truth, because if you've heard my dad lyrics, it can't come from genes. But it's...
I meant Billy Joel.
Oh, okay, Billy Joel, then probably. He's going to kill me for saying that. I tend to latch on to artists, whether it's musically or lyrically. I listen. People think I have this huge, wide range of music that I listen to and like, and when in reality, I have a pretty thin margin of music. Once I find something, I listen to it religiously for months or years, even just studying it and trying to incorporate that feel and everything into my own songs. Like lyrically, it's probably Billy Joel, Stephen Sondheim, and Tim Rice are my three biggest lyrical inspirations out there in the world.
They're pretty big players, Nick. So do you think that's where you'll go in the end? Musical theatre?
It's definitely in my mind. Obviously, I write my own original music, and part of me still wants to pursue that path and maybe make a living off of my original stuff just as a solo artist. But there are a couple times. I'm working on a musical right now. Who knows if that'll make it anywhere? But if it does, and all I know right now is that it's a heck of a lot of fun to put together. So if it's also successful at the end, then I think I may have found my path.
Oh, let's hope you find it, mate. Let's hope it comes to fruition as well. It's a tough old business out there, and nobody knows that better than the gorgeous Jaki Graham. She's been around for, well, we were talking about decades. There's been a few of them, Jack. Am I right?
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm everybody's auntie now. So the families are bringing their youngsters with them now, and they're buying into Auntie Jaki. And I'm thinking, I'm looking at these young faces. I'm thinking, you weren't even born when some of this stuff was out, and yet they're giving me so much love, darling. That's and that's all. This is all. And I came on the scene thinking, I've got this glorified hobby. Which it was a glorified hobby. And I used to be working with bands and everything else back in Birmingham, and we were going up and down the country and stuff, and then getting back to get to work during the day, because I used to work in the day. I had secretary and stuff like that. So,
wow.
And then, so when I came on the scene, everybody said, oh, overnight success. And I'm going, no, darling, I'd been gigging for a good 10 or 12 years before even getting spotted. But and like Nick's talking about watching his parents do their thing, and then ending up being in the industry. My kids were the same thing. I used to take them everywhere, and they must have thought, Mom and Dad's having so much fun. That's what I want to do when I grow up. So, needless to say, my kids are also in the entertainment field, but it's so rewarding. There's a lot of there can be down times too, darling.
Yeah.
But because the industry is so fickle.
Well, it's the people in it, Jaki, isn't it?
All right.
But when at what point in your life did you go, this is me, this is what I'm going to be? How did you get into it all?
We talk about, my other half, right? And also my manager and managed by my daughter as well. But Tony, this is, I said, we were in the bedroom when we first met you and all, we were talking, telling you the history. But it's Tony is a big, big, big part of what we do now, because myself and Tony went to school together.
Yeah.
Okay. And I, and I was a prefect at school, and there was like concerts at school, and every now and again I'd sing. I'll do a bit, a bit of singing and stuff like that. And then I think there was an ad in our local Birmingham Evening Mail, our local paper, okay? And there was a band getting together, and they wanted a singer. Tony put me forward. He got me the audition to go and check this band out, and for the band to check me out. And that's where it started, Chick. So I started to, by this time I'd left school, and I'm in the office, and I'm doing gigs of a night time, and Tony was also glorified roadie and stuff. So he's thinking, I don't know about this, but he must have loved me enough to think, I'm going to be with her, and I'm going to go through this journey. And it became and when Natalie came along, when we had Natalie, and that's when I got a solo recording deal. Yeah. And from that point on, we did it as a family. So, it was all, so Tony's a big part of why I do what I do. And he got me into it in the first place. So blame him.
Well, it's a big part of who you are. And it's the synergy between the guests today. The whole thing about family is massive. Yeah. Natalie now manages you. Tony's been looking after you for a long, long time. You've all been about keeping everything together. And nepotism is great, Nick. You know this better than anybody. It's great, but it has to work. You can't just give somebody a job just because they're related, that you can get close from that. We've all been in that situation.
So my family.
I don't know if you'll have heard some of Jaki's stuff, but Jaki was way before you were born. Back in the 80s, was a massive. I mean, top 10 singles. Well, at what point did you think, Jaki, I've made this? This is it. I'm here. Because you are so humble and down to earth. There's the point where you've gone, hang on a second, this is real now.
Sam, the thing is, when I came on the scene, Sam, I was thinking, pinch. The door opens only once. I said, okay. Tony says, let's just do this. Let's just try this. I got on, and I got the first hit, and I'm thinking, but I was old enough, and what I like to think, wise enough to think, because the industry is fickle, and you're only the best thing since sliced bread, for a little short period of time. But you know what? Child in tow, Tony, we just said, we'll just enjoy every minute of it. We might only be here for 5 minutes, but let's enjoy every minute of it. And let's, and I want Natalie to grow up and or to remember. So I was trying to make a memory for her while I was doing what I was doing, and then all of a sudden then I had another hit. I'm thinking, oh Lord. Oh, okay. And then I had another hit. I'm thinking, oh, it looked like I'm going to be here for a little bit longer. And it was literally like that. And so we just embraced every minute, chick. But the years went like that.
Oh, it flies by, doesn't it?
Oh, my gosh.
Absolutely flies by.
Oh, my gosh.
It's so lovely. I mean, and it's not just, she's talking about these singles. Before we actually started, Jackie was saying, oh, yeah, because, I asked her a question that I'll ask her later on, and she was talking about that person. And she said, because I've met so many great people, Stevie Wonder, blah, 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 blah. She was naming off these like super hyper, like mega stars. And I went, well, wait a second. You can't just flippantly skip over Stevie Wonder. What was that like? Like Stevie doesn't even come in the top 5. He's like, 6 or 7. I'll call Stevie later if I need him.
Oh. But something, I've been very fortunate, darling. And when I do my shows, the close and personal, I talk about that. And I'm just thinking, and I still say to this day, I still say somebody pinch me because, the people that I have met along the way, and I've learned so much from everybody, whether it be writers, whether it be producers, whether it be sound engineers, whatever it is I'm doing. I have to embrace it all, and the fact that people want to hang out with me and want to work with me, and I don't want to cause them any trouble. I'm thinking, I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful, darling, and I'm still here 30 odd years later, still trying to give the love.
You're always giving the love. And I want to say this, because sometimes people can look at this and they can go, it's a bit contrived. This is a bit, people aren't like that. That's exactly what you're like. You're Jackie Graham like this in the morning, and you're Jackie Graham exactly like that on stage. It's the same as Nick. Yeah. You get exactly the same person. Nick's an amazing entertainer, Jackie. When he gets on stage, he was born to entertain, and not just in a singing capacity. Nick, you love having fun up on stage, don't you, mate?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the only way to be. I mean, I think everyone on this screen and some people watching as well would know that, you go on a stage and do the same show, night after night after night for a couple of years. It kind of becomes muscle memory after a while. Sometimes some aspects of it may even become boring. But if you have fun on stage and you just love what you do, that's the ticket right there.
That's right.
Because Nick did a show, I mentioned it earlier, Jackie, called The Boys of D63. It was a big hit on the ships, and certainly on land all over the US. And it was effectively started as Nick, tell us about it. Tell us about how it evolved and why it started.
Well, yeah, it really started as a tribute to Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Like we had the jackets and stuff like that. And basically we just had a Frankie Valli, which wasn't me. I can't do that unless I pull my underwear up and suck on helium. We had Frankie Valli doing pretty much the bulk of the show, and then we had 3 other guys. I was one of the 3 other guys, just providing the backing vocals and stuff like that. And it really was about the Frankie the whole time. And the show really evolved to every single performer that was on stage having equal time singing and coming to the front of the stage and doing a song for themselves. But the thing that really kind of pushed the show forward was we had a script at the beginning that worked for the time, but through the years and through the cast changes we had and stuff like that, we had new personalities come on stage who added their own flair, who stuck to the script but may have added a line here or a word there that just gradually became funnier and funnier and funnier. And now it's a comedy show that has some Frankie Valli songs in it.
You kind of learn what you can get away with, don't you?
Yeah.
Nobody told me off for that. That's staying in. Usually, Jackie, you'll know yourself, when you're on stage, the best stuff is the stuff that just comes out.
Oh my gosh! But Nick, you're right. It's the audience that bring things out, and it's the and they may say something to you, and then you answer them back, and then and it's all jovial, it's all in fun, it's all in good spirit, and I think it just lifts people's spirit. Now, when I'm doing my show, and you've met Adrian, right? Adrian Douthwaite, my musical director. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I've lost the plot. I don't really know what I'm doing, when I'm doing, and what I should be doing, when I should be doing it. I gone somewhere else. God bless that man. Let me tell you, he's behind me because it's just a piano, okay, and he's with me all the way. And when I do the band thing, it's the same thing. But you know something, if people just forgive me. I don't intentionally mean to do that, but I'm just a loose cannon, and they just take me as they find me, and that's all I'm asking you to do. All I have to offer you is the voice, okay? And and the songs, and I hope the songs make you feel good, and the voice, and everything else. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, everybody, and they don't mind. So, like you said, it's the audience that feed me. That's really what I'm trying to say.
The charm. You've got so much of it, Jackie. And that's what they go along with, when you go and they go, okay. We thought, it was 80s star. We thought it was going to be all serious, but it's not. She's just one of us.
Yeah.
Just all people. That's what we do. It's a job.
That's it. Yeah.
We're lucky.
Yeah.
Who was it that said it? I think it was Caroline Cavanagh said, how lovely that you can have your job as your hobby. It's the best
my
thing in the world.
gosh.
And Terry Davies, also our CEO, he's normally, as I said, the host of this show. He said, my goodness, Jackie is so good. It's just big fans. And we've skipped over this, Jackie, about talking about your singles. But we've got hits like, back into, I've listed them here, back in 1984. First TV appearance, by the way, was It's Friday. It's 5 to 5.
Cracker Jack.
Anybody in the US won't have a clue what that is, but it was a big thing.
A children's program, a Cracker Jack. I know, darling. It was an institution back then as well, Cracker Jack, wasn't it?
Massive. It was an
TV
week.
show, yeah.
Every week, and it made lots of people famous. But songs like Round and Around, 1985. Mated, Set Me Free. Some of the others here.
Step Right Up.
My God, what about Set Me Free? And what was your first big hit?
I did. Heaven Knows.
In love.
And Could It Be I'm Falling in Love? Yeah, and things like that. So 5
in the charts, Jackie. You're up there with the best, mate.
Well, something. It's lovely that you say that, and when I meet people, and but I'm thinking I'm not worthy, and I'm thinking, I'm into you more than anything else. Like, what? Check me out. Who am I hanging with?
Don't tell.
I'm hanging with Sam. I'm hanging with Sam,
But you were getting certainly UK fame through these things, and in a lot of cases, hitting the dance charts in America and things like that. What did it feel like when, the girl from the Midlands, the little girl from Birmingham, just kind of thrown into collaborations with superstars? That's got to be pretty crazy.
Know. It something. It was nerve-wracking, exciting, but I'm thinking, but. It's like trying to step up, but you have to step up because I'm constantly learning. Really, what I'm trying to say is I'm constantly, as old as I am, darling, and for as long as I've been doing what I'm doing, I don't know nothing. Every day and every show is a learning curve, right? So when you get thrown with these people and you meet all your idols and stuff, and they want to work with you and do, I'm thinking, all right. Now, Tony always says, now don't go out there and look like a pleb because you.
That's your encouragement.
Yeah.
Rah-rah chat. Just don't go out there and make a fool of yourself. Get out there and do your job.
Because like the first time I met Michael McDonald, Michael McDonald from the Doobie Brothers, he had a hit with
Michael McDonald. Sorry, I thought you meant Michael McDonald. Yeah.
But the reason I'm saying this, darling, is because Tony, I wanted to go and see Michael to gig. Now I've been a fan of Doobie Brothers and the voice and everything else, but I never knew Michael. I never knew what he looked like. Even I just loved this man's voice. Then he had the hit with Patti LaBelle, and then it's like Michael. Then he did. James Ingram, Yam will be there, okay? And I was watching a Quincy Jones documentary, and then I'm thinking, that's Michael McDonald? What? Anyway, and he had the hit. Next thing I know, Tony, if I'm not working, please, I beg you, is there any way we can get tickets to go and see Michael McDonald because he's playing in Birmingham, my hometown, okay? Anyway, long story short, I ended up getting, he said, we've got it. I'm going, we've got what? Yeah, Michael McDonald. Yeah, man, I'm going to say Michael McDonald. Anyway, he went, no, you're singing with Michael McDonald. I said, I beg your pardon. The next thing is like, you're singing with Michael McDonald. The next day, the following day, right? Because let's say I heard about this on a Wednesday, and it was Thursday, I had to go meet this man. I'm going, oh, no. I was ready to get a divorce, let me tell you. It nearly caused a day. How dare you put me forward for something like that? What's wrong with you? Anyway, met this gentleman. Let me tell you, baby boy, Nick, He's the nice, and his band and everything, nicest, and he's co-written songs and written songs for me for all like my albums and stuff like that. When a Woman Loves, he's got 3 songs on there. So I'm thinking, but I'm thinking, and he says, "Is the key all right for you?" I'm going, the key, no, I don't know what key I sing in. All I know is I don't sing like Patti LaBelle, right? The next thing is I'm on stage. And this man and his band gave me so much love, darling. And throughout the tour, on that first tour, he said, "No, we just can't have you on for one song." And he gave me more and more songs to sing within his show. So
that was the first time I saw you, Jackie. Very first time I saw you was at the O2. I went to see Michael McDonald, and someone else was on afterwards. I think concert. Was it Al Green?
Oh, you're joking? Yes, man.
I was there when Al Green was there. I couldn't believe it. It was just like, oh my goodness me. And Michael McDonald. And I was right at the back. You know, Michael McDonald was this big. You know, I don't know if he's that big in real life. But from where I was stood, all I could see was a grey beard. It was just a big, massive grey beard. Yeah. And then he said, "I'm going to bring this girl on. You know her. She's a big star in your country. I did this song originally with Patti LaBelle, and you came on and you sang it. And that was the first time I saw you live. And
oh my gosh!
Singing
really?
One of my Hairs on Arms. Look, Hairs on Arms. Oh. And it was brilliant, Jackie. You're such a superstar. Nick, what are the dreams, mate, of singing with? If there's anybody you could pick in the whole world, and I have to take Billy Joel out of this equation, right? Because he's the obvious one. He's always going to be the go-to. Who would it be?
One person?
Yeah. Oh, well, it could be a group as well. It can be a group.
A group
of one persons.
People.
A group of one person.
I would have to say, Paul McCartney.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, Paul McCartney I was doing a TV show. I think it was I forgot when you show your videos and somebody else come in and tell me. Anyway, he gave me a bunch of flowers for my birthday on TV. Oh, what a nice man.
All right, I'm logging off now. I'm going to log off.
And also, Nick, just to make you even slightly more envious, Michael McDonald said about Jackie Graham, "Jackie is one of the best singers Britain has ever produced." By the man himself said that. Toured with him, wrote music with him. Like Jackie says, songs on her albums. Let's have a little look, if we can, Ross, of one of the songs off Jackie's album, latest album. This is a beautiful song. What's it called? So what a song, Jack. What a song.
Thank you. And that was my baby girl in the video as well. That's my daughter, Natalie, who manages me.
Listen, she's a tough cookie, Natalie. Trying to get through to you sometimes. My goodness. She terrifies me, your daughter.
Oh, no.
And also your son Ryan. What a voice.
Right. Oh yeah, my baby boy as well, Ryan. He does his thing too, bless his heart. So the children are looking after me, and along with Dad, because I have done quite a little bit, quite a bit in within the industry, but and I'm thinking, something. It's time for me to step back now, because the youngsters are coming up now. They got something to offer and everything else, and they say no, people still want to hear from you. And then I go and do the show. I get excited because they're at the shows. I'm thinking, oh my God, you came out to say. I said, let me tell you this, and let me sing you this. Do you remember this? And I'm gone again.
And you know what, Jackie? I saw your show. We worked on a cruise ship together, didn't we?
Yes,
we went to dinner, and me and the cruise director sat down and we watched your show, and it was the most. When you sit there and you laugh in 1 minute and then you cry in the next. It was an amazing show you put together. Just so easy. with your MD. You know, tell us about how you moved from the whole thing with the big production to just bringing it right the way down. How did that work for you?
Well, you know something. They kept saying, you got something. Why not do a one-woman show? And myself and Adrian, okay. And Adrian said, "But Jack, we could put a spin on, on your hits." But I said, "But Adrian, I haven't got the band and I have the backing vocals." And he said, "No, but people want to hear you." Well, when we started to do these, intimate shows, and people were so quiet, and I'm going to them. Is everybody all right? And their faces were a picture. It was as if they were so mesmerized by just because it's stripping music right back. It's just stripping everything back, and all you're getting is the pure voice. And Adrian can play like I don't know what. That man inspires me. So I'm getting inspired by his piano playing behind me, right? And then I'm getting the love from the people in front, and I'm thinking, oh my God! And then afterwards, it's just that. You can hear a pin. They want to hear every. I said, listen, there's warts and all, darling. I want to hear you. But these people just want to hear. And the purity of just the voice and being able to connect with somebody just through, the voice and the songs itself. I was so overwhelmed. And I still get nervous about them now, doing that kind of show, because you're so exposed.
So exposed. It's
very
so
exposed.
There's nothing to hide behind. It's just you and the piano.
No. But God love them, darling. They stay with me and then it's like, can you say, what about this song? What about, and they come back and see shows time and time. I say, I saw you the other day. So you come back again and going, yes, we wanted to hear. Listen, all I said to everybody, right? This is what I have to offer. I want to give you as much love. I want to make a memory for you. I want to bring back a memory for you. And, and just to make you smile. I hope that you take me home with you. And that's all I say.
And it's so beautiful, Jackie. And talking about stripping it right back, we've got a little bit of exactly what you do with that regard. Have a look at this.
Okay.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do, it's all right with me. For the man, he couldn't make it, so he's leaving the life he's come to know. He's leaving on that midnight train to Georgia. Yeah. Said he's going back to find a simpler place and time. Oh, but I've got to be with him on that midnight train to Georgia. Well, I'm his girl, and I've got to go. I've got to go. Well, I've got to go. I've got to go. You make me happy. You make me feel this way. Nobody loves me better. Nobody loves me better than you.
Jackie, that's incredible, mate. And it's the connection. It's all to do with that intimate connection. And being able to see the whites of their eyes and, feeling it. It's the empathy, isn't it, that you see with that audience.
And that's what I need, and that's what I feed off. And when you can look into somebody's eyes, you're thinking, "Oh my, are you all right?" And you can see the emotion, and I'm thinking, "Okay, everything's all right. The world's all right," because they get me. They understand what I'm trying to say.
It's the connections, everything. I'm just going to read something here. It says about Nick. It says, "I had Nick sing to me on stage. I loved every second of it. It was such a wonderful young man." And that's from Deborah Ann Oakley Dunford. Do you know Deborah?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Where was that? Where was that little intimate connection? Moving on from Jackie Graham's intimate connection.
So there's a section in December '63 where I don't know if we'll be able to do it anymore because of this, social distancing.
Yeah.
But we go down and we bring a lady up on stage, sit her down in a chair, and sing a song to her. And Deborah was one of those people we brought up, and it was awesome. There's just some people that you bring on stage, and it's never with D63. This is a question that we get whenever we have somebody great like Deborah that comes on: are they a plant? And the answer is always no. It's the third song in the thing, and the first two songs in the show are the most stressful because I'm the one that needs to try and find someone who I think are good to come on stage.
You can't see through the curtains, can you? To find somebody.
But Deborah was one of the people we brought up, and it was she born performer as well. She just knew how to react to every line of lyrics and every gag that was written into the song. But she's just, one of those people we brought up that's just absolutely memorable to this day.
Nick, the thing is, you've made a memory for her. You've made a real memory for her, and that's invaluable.
But it's there.
She'll always,
just written it down. I mean, these people, they never forget because it makes their holidays. It's so lovely when people come up. Music has an incredible way of touching people's hearts.
Powerful.
It immediately takes you straight back. Everybody in the chat room is just saying about, what an uplifting show. Such a gift, uplifting person to listen to. Cindy Moodbrock saying, pick me. I'm a new fan of Jackie Graham. Jackie's amazing, Cindy. I can't tell you how amazing she is. God bless you, Jackie. Your heart and energy is so uplifting. And the list goes on. Beth Shasman, who's another gorgeous, and she's the same. She's a warm, beautiful person. She says so much warmth in her voice. It's incredible. And Linda Ann Oakley said she's blushing now and she'll remember it forever. How lovely is that? Yeah. How lovely is that? So we're going to ask you a couple of, let's do Where in the World is Terry? This is a section of the show where the normal host, he puts himself in a virtual background and you have to guess where he is, right? It's called Where in the World is Terry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my background and you're going to have to guess. What I've done, Jackie, is I've used album covers. So
album covers.
Now, I got these, Nick, thinking that you were going to be Kalo tonight. So you're going to have to see if you can guess. And I'm hoping you're going to guess the album covers. So this is Where in the World is Terry?
Where in the world is Terry? Where in the world is Terry?
So, Nick, a famous album cover. Where am I? You're going to get this because this is so easy.
Oh, you can't. Oh, man, let me think about this. Man, this must be like an underground, unknown.
Yeah, but like an indie band.
Yeah, let me see.
They had they did an EP back in the late 60s and didn't have much success after that.
I'm going to say it's like Stee Boulevard or Mel Court. No, Abbey Road. Abbey Road, that's the one. Yes.
Wow.
You used family names and that was very good. Very good. That was impressive. That's made me laugh. Abbey Road, the Beatles. Jackie, I know, present company accepted. It's the best band in the history of music.
Oh,
I don't care.
Yeah.
We were talking about politics before and people getting passionate. I'll fight you to the death if you tell me there's anybody better than the Beatles. Possibly the Jackson 5, but that's it.
I grew up with all that stuff as well, though. I mean, that the Beatles, the Stones, the Jacksons, the Osmonds, and I mean, I'm across the board.
Every band did an S, didn't it?
Absolutely fabulous. Oh my God!
Jackie, here's one for you. Here's one for you. Let's see if you can get this.
Oh.
She's putting her glasses on.
I have to put the glasses on, darling. Would that be Welcome to the Hotel California.
The reggae
What a
version.
nice surprise. Oh, sorry. Was it? Yeah, man.
Correct. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, you've done it. I'm going to do two more. Nick, are you ready for this one?
Okay. Is that Rio by Duran Duran?
Oh, I cannot believe. He's good, isn't he?
Very, very good.
He's good.
Yeah,
What an album
good.
cover that is. What an album cover that is.
Another band from the Midlands. They're from Birmingham.
Absolutely. They are from Birmingham. So, Jackie, you might get this.
Oh, you think? Oh! Oh, shame.
Oh, shit.
I wonder who that is. Oh, dear. Yeah.
Oh, Jackie, what a legend. People have got to get on and listen to your music. Go online and buy Jackie Graham's back catalogue. The music is fantastic. Jackie, out of all your singles, and it's going to be a difficult question to answer. I know it is, but you've got to have one. There's got to be one of your singles, one of your big hits that you go, that's the one for me. That's the one that, even if it brought you the most money, what is it?
Out of my singles,
yeah,
I think it has to be the one that started it off for me all those years ago. And I've got to go down to one, I know. But the first song was a song called Heaven Knows.
Yeah.
And that was what crossed me over to like the soul charts, and then Could It Be was the one that sort of made me go really international. But I would have to say Round and Around.
What a tune.
Because it's a sound of summer, and there's just something about that song.
And again, watching your show on the ship, and you did them acoustically, and it's like you go, oh my God, I love this song. My God, I love this song. And every song you did, and they were your hits. My God, and she actually did them, and you were so close. You were spitting on us. If the coronavirus was around then, we'd have called them.
Hey, you know that. But that was what's so frightening about that show, because it's the first time I really done that kind of a show, which was on the ship when we met. Okay, so to be that close to somebody. Yeah. Like I said, there's nowhere to hide, darling. And all you have to offer is the voice, and people are just staring at you. But you know what somebody said?
It's a difference between a great entertainer as well as just being a great singer, to be able to entertain that close. Nick, did you ever see yourself working as a solo artist just in front of an audience, for want of a better word, in a cabaret setting where just you and them, or, maybe hitting the big time? Any ideas of that?
Well, everyone has the standing in front of the mirror with a hairbrush talking at the Grammys, moment. Everyone has that.
Talking to your grandmas.
Yeah. Exactly. I think any songwriter who writes their own original music has that dream of being in front of people and letting people hear what they've done, even if they are writing for other people. You know what I mean? They have that dream of their material being heard by the ethers, because it's fun, but there's not, especially now with things like Spotify and Apple Music, there's less and less opportunity for financial success from this. So we got to be shooting towards something, and I think that something is just appreciation.
Today's business is so different to what it was. I mean, even in Jackie's day, it's different to what it was back in the 60s and the 50s. When you think there's so many amazing artists, and I said this the other day, there's very few people around today that people in 30 years will be singing the tunes of. They were going back to the 90s, back to the 80s, back to the 70s, and so on. It will be those 4 decades that will stick out forever and ever in the history of music. And there'll be bits and bobs, but I just don't think anyone is allowed to make it anymore. What do you think about that, Nick? Would the Beatles have made it? Would Elton John have made it?
It's one of those things. If the material is good enough, it's gonna get, heard some way or somehow, maybe not by the mass that may hear stuff that may not be as good, which I'm not going to name any names on a live feed, but like, it's one of those things as well. A movie just came out called Yesterday, amazing movie.
Great.
And the sad thing is, music is changing so much now that if the Beatles music did come out now, it's so different from what is popular nowadays that I think it would just be overlooked.
Yeah, well, it was of its time, of course, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then creating its own time, with Sergeant Pepper, writing a new rule book. When you look back at all the people you've met, Jackie, who would you say stands out for you personally as like, wow, I've met my idol now?
Wow. Within my shows, I mean, I've mentioned Michael. I also have to say, because I tell everybody when I'm doing shows, courtesy of certain, artists and stuff, I get to meet other artists. Okay, and growing up, I used to watch Sir Cliff Richard, and I was a part of his Soulishes tour a few years back, and courtesy of Sir Cliff, I got to meet Frida Payne. I got to meet Lamont Dozier, who was one of the songwriters, Holland Dozier in Holland. Okay, Now the connection is I met Percy Sledge. All these people that I never in my wildest dreams ever thought I'd meet. Okay, and they're elderly gentlemen and stuff now, but they're awesome, absolutely awesome. Okay, now I got to meet who? Oh, James Ingram. Yes, I met James as well. Yeah, but
my favorite singer.
He just walked in and said, "Oh, let me tell you." But to see Sir Cliff, be like he was with these people, and the connection I said earlier is that I was also signed to Motown as well, back in the 90s and stuff like that. So and then I was talking to Lamont Dozier and the history of Motown, and I'm talking to Frida and Lamont went to school together, and Lamont wrote co-wrote Band of Gold, which I covered in the 90s. Nick, there's just so much to tell you, Donna, and I know I'm getting. They say, "Well, you shut up," because people have got to. But all that, so to meet these people, darling. Oh, he says, calm down. But, to meet these people and to be in their company, and I felt like baby sister, and I'm looking at Cliff and I'm going, oh my gosh, and Cliff's looking at me and thinking, and he's in awe as well, but they were such lovely, lovely people, darling. And I still say to Cliff now, I say, God bless you, darling, for making me a part of your tour. Because,
isn't it incredible? And just like I say, just normal people who just happen to be in a really extraordinary job, where you throw yourself in front of lots and lots of people on a nightly basis and sell your soul and share the love. It's magic. Right, I'm going to ask you both one question or two questions, and I want you to answer as honestly as you can. There may not be one of the answers for you, Jackie, on the first one, but I want you to dig deep, all right? Things that turn you off. One thing that you don't like about life.
For me,
could be angry drivers.
I don't like racism.
Oh,
racism, and when my husband Tony, right? He's white, he's Irish, okay, he's from an Irish family and everything else, and we had it back then. All of a sudden now, racism is kicking itself back into play now. And I just wonder, why can't people be, love the brother man? Basically,
we're all the same underneath, mate. Everyone's the same underneath. Yeah, that's it. All people on God's earth. It's just crazy. That's
it. We're all one. And and that's what my thing is. I want to show you love because get to know me as a person. Don't put me with with everybody else. I have something to offer to you, and I hope you like what I have to offer, and vice versa. We can all learn from each other, darling.
Great answer, Jackie. Great answer, Nick. What turns you off, my friend?
Olives.
What's crazy? What's terrible? So we've just done the whitest thing in the world, Jackie. Right?
Olives.
You say racism, we'll go, yeah. Nick says olives. Oh God, yeah.
No, I think I would have to say egotism.
Oh, like it.
Hate it. Absolutely.
I think a bit of humility is there, my friend. Yeah. All right. And on the flip side of that, Jackie Graham, for want of a better phrase, what turns you on? Ooh. Don't say Tony.
Ooh, yeah, 40 years married, darling. I'm thinking
40 years married, not much anymore.
Yes, spice it up a little bit, but it's all right.
Not in the bedroom, dear. Anything.
What turns me on? You know something? A good song, a good gig. I think it's all about work, darling, and I just love to see people lift my spirits. So if I can hear a great song,
yeah,
or if I can go to a great gig, then I love to watch other people do their thing.
And certainly now, with the lockdown, nobody can get out. Terry Davies said it the other day. It's not about, you can watch a DVD. The DVD might be amazing. The sound's incredible. You can sit. You got the best seat in the house. Yeah. But there's nothing like being there and smelling it and feeling it. Yeah. And the empathy of the crowd with you. Great answer. Nick, what about you? What turns you on? Don't say olives.
I'm afraid I need to say two answers to this, just because I can't choose between the two. One of them is acts of selflessness and kindness, random, like unwarranted, and especially ones that don't expect anything in return. Yeah. It's just something that's incredible to me because it's so rare now, unfortunately. But it's just whenever I see it, it's heartwarming. And two, honestly, just an orchestra just reaching the height of an orchestral piece, especially like when I hear it in a movie or like a film score, that just like John Williams just hitting that E.T. Adventures on Earth, it just goosebumps.
It's a God-given gift, isn't it? The ability to just make you melt at any given point in a musical interlude is just incredible. Great answers, which leads me to the question that everybody gets asked on Tad Talk. It's a very simple question, very difficult to answer. Some people go down the melancholy, solemn family route. Other people go down the hero route. It can be anybody. There's two people you could spend an hour with, alive or dead. Any two people, alive or dead. You could spend an hour with them and have a conversation. Who would they be and where would you be? What would the location be?
Who first? Jackie?
Jackie, please. Thanks, Nick.
Okay. Two people.
Two people.
The first person I'd love to hang out with, Gladys Knight.
Wowee.
I would love to hang out with Gladys Knight to talk to her, how she did what she's achieved and what she's done, and her family and how it was back then. The other person is also an icon, and that's Nat King Cole.
Oh, wowee.
I would love to hang out with Nat King Cole.
And what would you talk about? Would it just be music, or would you just chew the fat?
Everything, from family, from food, from music. But these people are so talented, because I can't read music or nothing, right? And what I do is what I feel. So for me to do what I do, I have to feel it, okay? But these people can talk, and I love to talk to Adrian, which is my MD, right? My musical director. Now, and he will say things, and I'm going, what do you mean? He said, but Jackie, you do it anyway. You do it naturally. But to hear how they did what they did, and plus for Nat King Cole to be going through to be the first sort of black performer that had a TV show as well back in those days, and so on, and how that worked.
Change the world.
And the advertisers and stuff like that, because they wouldn't. But anyway, so I'm just interested in the history of Gladys Knight and Nat King Cole.
It's a weird question, isn't it? Because there's so many people. You think you could keep answering this question, all night. Nick, what about you? Who would you meet?
I've been asked this question, and I'm trying to, every time I get asked it, I try to give a different answer than the one before, just because there are so many people I'd love to meet. But I think this one is a little random now, but obviously Billy Joel, and Alan Menken.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah. Just, for those of you who don't know Alan Menken, just watch pretty much any Disney movie from the 90s. He wrote all the music for it and the score. Right. And I would love to talk to Billy Joel about, being a god. And
you being a god, or
about him. No, I'd be your peasant. And then talk to Alan Menken about, because I'm trying to, with all my originals, put an orchestral background to it. And though I'm learning along the way, I would love to hear from a master how to write something beautiful that is memorable, that does not take away from the voice and the main part of the song, but just learn from two of the masters of the current musical ether.
two great answers. And like you say, you can answer that question a million times. I asked you again, Jackie, you'd think of two different ones, you know?
Oh, I know.
Heroes you'd want to make. God, you'd go on forever and ever.
But Nick, I mean, you're such a bright baby. You're such a bright baby, and you know, and you're so talented and stuff like that. So I'm going to check you out, darling. And you've been a pleasure. I mean, I need to see in person. I mean, if I'm excited about this, would you think I'm going to be like when I see you? When we get together at some point just to say hello
in person?
And that's for Sam. Yeah.
But Jackie, after lockdown, we must chat about business as well, because Tad Management do a whole host of things, booking, gigs, entertainment. We don't know what the new normal is yet. It could be completely different when it all comes back, but it will eventually come back to the way it was. I'm sure it will. And and having certainly conversations with Jackie Graham about working together and collaborating, not putting you on the spot as you're live on air. It would be amazing.
I'm up for it.
Wherever there's a gig, baby.
I'm up for it. Yeah,
Jack, you're a superstar. All I can say is thank you so much for the two of you. Jackie, so much for spending the time and sparing the time to come on and talk to Tad. You are a superstar, mate. There's no two ways about it. You've been up there. When you've got a list of top 10 singles, you're doing all right.
Baby, I'm still working on it. That's all I can say. I'm still working on it. And I hope that, anybody that comes and checks us out and everything has a great time and think of us fondly, darling. And I hope I make everybody smile. And that's all, that's all I have to offer. And I can go home and feel good.
One last question before we go. Do you two, like I do, when you're out there in front of the microphone or whatever it is you're doing, think, are they going to find me out this time?
Oh, guilty. Oh, busted.
Yes.
You're busted.
Is that you, or is it just blind optimism? Because every time I think, oh God, is it going to happen? Because I have no idea.
Yeah, because I think that's where the nerves come from. Because you're thinking, I am just bluffing, and I say that sometimes, I am bluffing my ass off. Let me tell you, darling. But as long as you don't mind,
make it up as you go along.
It's all good. Yeah.
I mean, it's always a thing on my mind, but a lot of the time, I just think out there, like, I wonder if these people, because I'm nowhere near Jackie by any means. Like, I'm like, in terms of being on stage, I'm just singing cover songs, and I wonder if anybody out there who's just watching as a fan thinks that I'm like bigger than I am, are excited to meet me as they would with meeting the actual Frankie Valli. I wonder if they wonder if I'm up there not like breaking wind on stage because I'm so nervous to perform in front of them. That's what usually goes through my mind.
Why?
So we're thinking about nerves, you're thinking about your bowels, is that right? Nice to know.
Oh my God.
It's been brilliant. I would tell you who's on tomorrow, but I have no idea. And as I'm only doing one, I'm really, who cares? But there you go. It's been brilliant. You've been amazing. Nick, thank you for jumping in at the last minute. And I promise you, Kayla will be back at some point and she will do an interview. She's an amazing girl. She's incredible. She's brand new at Tad and she will sit down and have a chat to you. Episode 13, as I said, please do join us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. A big thanks to my amazing guest, Miss Jackie Graham. Yay!
Thank you so much, everybody.
And also Ross Calgeri, who's backstage taking care of everything. Thanks, Ross. Great job as usual. Join us tomorrow night at 7 on Tad Talk. Thank you for joining in. We have been doing this now for an hour and 12 minutes. God bless you. Take care. Stay safe.
Bye-bye, everybody.